They mocked me. They laughed when I told them I wanted to become a painter. My family, rooted in tradition, saw my dream as a childish fantasy, something embarrassing, something I'd outgrow. My father's eyes hardened, voice cold as steel. "You're wasting your life on that nonsense," he said. "You'll never make it. You're just bringing shame to this family." I remember the sting of their words, the weight of their doubt pressing down on my chest. For years, I kept my dream buried beneath layers of doubt and fear. I worked dead-end jobs, painted in secret, and told myself I was foolish for believing I could ever really succeed. Their voices echoed in my mind, whispering that I was destined to fail, that I was an embarrassment. But something in me refused to die. Somewhere deep inside, a spark flickered, an ember that refused to be extinguished. I poured everything into my art, into my game development, into building my little business from scraps. Every rejection letter, every late-night coding session, brushstroke in the quiet hours, these became my rebellion. I was fighting to prove them wrong. It wasn't easy. I faced homelessness, ridicule, and moments when I considered giving up entirely. But I knew I had to keep going. I studied furiously, worked tirelessly, and refused to let their doubts define me. Over years, I built a portfolio that started gaining notice. My game, a quirky indie project, caught the eye of a major publisher. My paintings found collectors, art shows, galleries, even commissions lined up. Slowly, I turned their mockery into my stepping stones. And then, finally, I made it. I didn't just succeed. I exploded into the scene. My work was displayed in galleries, featured in magazines, praised by critics. I built a reputation that shattered every bitter word they ever said. I was living proof that their narrow-mindedness couldn't contain my vision, that my persistence could rewrite my story. But I knew the real moment would come when I returned home, not just to visit, but to show them what I'd become. The day I arrived back was like stepping into a different world. My car idled outside the small, worn-out house where I grew up. I felt a strange mixture of nostalgia and defiance. I knew they'd be watching, waiting to see if I was just another failed dreamer. I stepped inside, and their eyes widened. My father looked older, more tired, more weighed down by regret. My mother's face was etched with lines of worry, but her eyes flicked with curiosity. And then I turned, revealing what I'd become. I carried a portfolio, a testament to years of struggle. I unveiled my latest paintings, vibrant and alive, bursting with color and emotion. My game, an acclaimed indie hit, ran on the screen behind me, its code slick and polished. My name was in magazines, my face sometimes on billboards. I had built a life from nothing but raw passion and relentless grit. The silence was deafening. My father's jaw tightened. He looked like he wanted to say something, but nothing came out. My mother's hands trembled as she reached out, eyes brimming with tears. They looked at me, the same kid they once dismissed, the foolish dreamer they mocked. "I did this," I said softly, voice trembling with emotion. "I did what you said was impossible. I proved that dreaming isn't stupid, that failure isn't the end, it's just the beginning." And then, as if reality itself had shifted, I saw it, the flicker of pride behind their eyes. My father's shoulders sagged, and he looked away, unable to meet my gaze. My mother stepped forward, her voice trembling. "We were wrong. We never saw your fire. We thought your dreams were foolish, but you've shown us what courage really looks like." In that quiet moment, I realized I'd won not just in their eyes, but in my own. I had defied every voice that told me I couldn't. I had built a legacy from the ashes of their doubt. I turned to leave, but before I did, I looked back at the house, the place that once felt like a prison. I knew I'd never forget the pain, the rejection, or the loneliness. But I also knew that those scars had fueled my fire. My story isn't just about success. It's about rebellion, about proving that impossible is just a word, one that I refuse to believe. And as I walked away from that house, I carried with me the echoes of their silence and the roar of my triumph. I had returned not just to show them what I'd become, but to remind myself that the greatest victory is forging your own path and never letting anyone tell you you're just dreaming too big.